The Raptors take a 2-1 series lead over the Orlando Magic and hang on for dear life for the 98-93 victory down there in Orlando. And boy, oh boy, that game, it had disaster written all over it, just for the fact of the Raptors blowing out Orlando in Game 2. Like I said in the last video, you knew Orlando was going to come at you with their best punch in this game because they're at home. It's their first game at home. They took away your home court advantage, and they're feeling good. But for the Toronto Raptors, they actually come out there in the first quarter and are +5, 26-21. The offense isn't really flowing on all cylinders, but the defense is still digging in hard. And you're up by 5. Second quarter, -2, 24-22. You are still up by 3 at halftime. It's not great. It's not a big margin, but you do have the lead. Third quarter, the Raptors, I don't know, they just found a new gear defensively. They got a ton of stops. At one point, it was like a 13-0 run at one point for the Raptors. They win that quarter 28-20. Early on in the third, Raptors were actually down by 1. Then they went on a 13-0 run, and you guys can do the math. They're up by 12. They're feeling good. And the Raptors go into the fourth quarter +11. All you need to do is play fundamental defense, do your job defensively, make a few shots here and there, and you'll be fine. And things were going fine. They were up by 14. They were up by 13. At one point, 17. And we're like, this is pretty good. The Raptors are feeling great right now. And then in the dying, 5 minutes of the game, they kind of just sit back and relax. And they allowed the Magic to get back into it. And at one point, I think it was like a 4-point game. And then a 3-point game. And we're like, okay, what's going on here? We need some big shots. And who comes up with the big shot late in the game? My MVP in this game. I mean, I think there's no question about it. Everyone's going to agree with me. Pascal Siakam, the spicy sauce, the P-Skills sauce. Oh my goodness, the headband was all over the place. He was incredible and makes a nice little floater there at the end of the game. And then Kawhi Leonard gets to the free throw line, makes a couple free throws, and the ball game is over. Raptors find a way to hang on to the 98-93 win down in Orlando. A massive win in that series. And Raptor fans, you got to keep an eye on this team and say you allowed 93 today, and then you only allowed 82 in the last game. The Raptors have not given up 100 points in the last 2 games. That is awesome. The Raptors offense tonight, again, it wasn't the greatest. Kawhi Leonard was not playoff Kawhi today. He only had 16 points. Yeah, he had 10 rebounds and 4 assists. He had a steal in the game. He was a +1 while he was on the floor, but he only shot 5 of 19, 0 of 3 from 3. He wasn't the greatest. Lowry, he had the double-double in the game, 12 points, 10 assists on 4 of 10 shooting. He was 2 of 6 from 3, gave you a steal, a block, a +8 on the floor. Danny Green gave you 13 points as well. But I think we can all agree that the MVP is P-Skills. We've talked about it all year long with this Raptors squad. When one guy has a tough night, the other guy steps up. Look, Kawhi didn't have a great game today. Okay, so Lowry sprinkled in with 12. Danny Green got 13. And P-Skills took over the 30 mark. His playoff highs. I mean, he's been incredible so far. And we talked about it in the playoff preview. I mean, it was one of my worries that this is the one team that P-Skills has not dominated because of Jonathan Isaac. Well, we have now learned playoff Pascal is pretty damn good. He has a double-double today, 30 and 11, also has 4 assists on 13 of 20 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3, and a +13 on the floor. And the big thing for Siakam is knocking down the threes. Coming into the game, he had really struggled from beyond the arc to start the series. I don't know if he even made a shot in the first 2 games from 3. If he did, maybe it was like 1 or 2, maybe, but nothing crazy. And to see him go 3 of 4 today, to see him shoot 13 of 20, and to get knocked down 30, it's great to see from Pascal Siakam. Now, do you want to talk about officials? Because you know why? One of the only times this year that maybe I did it more than once, but the one time I can remember that I absolutely ripped the officiating was who? Tony Brothers. Who was the official there today? Tony Brothers. I'm sorry, the Orlando Magic got to the free throw line 23 times. The Raptors are such a good team at getting in the paint, causing fouls, getting calls, getting free throws. The Raptors had 10 free throws all game long. Two of them were on the final shot by Kawhi because they had to foul him. So do the math. If you don't count that, it's 8 free throws that are legit calls. It's insane. And you see after the whistle goes, Kawhi, Lowry, and Danny Green all go over to Tony Brothers and go, "Hey, bud, you do realize what happened tonight? Yeah, we're happy we got the victory, but what kind of garbage show was that?" Tony Brothers, do not officiate Toronto Raptor games anymore. Thank you. Especially in the playoffs. 10 free throws for a team of this caliber. Ridiculous. And a team that drives as much as this team does. Ridiculous. But even with the officials being the way they were, you still found a way to get a win. And come playoff time, that is really all that matters. It doesn't matter how grindy and gritty it was, because this game was that. You knew it was going to be a grinded out performance, guys. You knew it was going to happen because you're on the road. They're fired up. Their building's amped up. It's going to be a tough game. So the ability to start on time was a great job. And even though they didn't really finish on time, but they made some couple shots late, and they got a couple big stops late in the game to win it. The Raptors didn't shoot all that great, though. 45% from the field, 39% from three, still pretty good. 90% from the line, 9 of 10. The rebounds were +1 in favor of the Raptors. The offensive glass was +1 in favor of the Raptors, 8-7. You don't see that too often in Raptor games, but you know what? We'll take it in this game. 26 assists in the game for the Raptors, 9 steals to their 8, 3 blocks to their 5, 13 turnovers leading to 16 points. That's not very good for the Toronto Raptors. They got to minimize that a little bit. And if they're going to turn the ball over, dead ball turnovers are much more preferred. But the reason this team won, again, today, you date back to Game 2. And what did they do so well? They defended so hard and so good. The only reason the Orlando Magic came back in that third quarter to take that 1-point lead was Nikola Vucevic. At that time when they made that run, and he was the only guy who had made a shot. So, and then the Raptors went on the 13-0 run the rest of the way because they stopped giving them the ball. It made really no sense at all. But the Orlando Magic only shoot 36% from the field, 29% from three, and the only reason they were in this game today, 22 for 23 from the free throw line. And we're not going to get into that stuff again because I already did my little spiel on Tony Brothers. All right? Now, I'm not going to say it was all Tony Brothers because there's more than just one guy out there, but he's just the guy I usually pick on because he's terrible. That's just our theory, guys. And then the Tony Brothers is not that great. Next game for the Toronto Raptors, guys, Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Round 1 matchup against the Orlando Magic goes on Sunday as well as the Leaf game. But thank goodness the Leafs play at 3 and Raptors play at 7 o'clock in Orlando as the Raptors look to take a 3-1 series lead coming back home for Game 5. That game on Sunday is big. Now, again, I'm not saying it's like a do or die type of thing because it's really not. But what we as Raptor fans want to see, I'd like to see this team win in 5 games because ideally you should. So to see them lose Game 1, Raptor fans have gotten so used to losing Game 1, so fine, whatever, move on. They crushed them in Game 2, great. Now you go on the road, you win a grind, you won Game 3, great. Now you got a 2-1 series lead. That's great. But to win both on the road in Orlando and take a 3-1 series lead coming back home looking to eliminate them is exactly what we want to see. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off there in Orlando on Sunday night. And guys, you know what? As much as people aren't going to talk about Marc Gasol in the game, because I really didn't, 9 points, 3 boards, 1 assist on 4 of 6 shooting. He made the 1 3 he took. But the reason Marc Gasol is so good and the reason his defense is as good as they are is Marc Gasol. Why has this team not been very good over the last while? Because when guys drive on them, they kick it to other guys, and it just doesn't go well. Marc Gasol had 4 steals in the game, and he was a huge factor on the defensive end. I know people are going to talk about JV putting up numbers in Memphis. They don't mean squat. The Raptors are winning playoff games. That's what it means. And seeing Marc Gasol play the good defense, sprinkle in a 3 on 4 of 6 shooting, and moving the ball the way he does, fine. I'm totally okay with that. And seeing P Skills do what he did is just incredible. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed the Game 3 victory there today down in Orlando. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, the video, your MVP. Even though I think I know who it is, I think we can all agree who it is. P Skills, P Spicy. He was incredible. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this game, the rest of the series. What are your hopes for the series? Also, what are your expectations for the rest of the series, considering now the Raptors have a 2-1 series lead against the Orlando Magic? All right, so I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this game, the rest of the series, your thoughts on Kawhi there tonight. I thought he was forcing things a little much, but again, he's the guy. He's playoff Kawhi. I'll let him do whatever the heck he needs to do to get this team on top. And he did. By the way, I totally miss it. I was meaning to say it in the video. If you guys are still around watching the video, thank you guys so much. And on the last shot where Kawhi had the attempt to win the game, Kyle Lowry, you see him go flying in for the rebound, and probably the reason this game either didn't go to overtime or not. He gets the rebound, he kicks to Kawhi, they have to foul him, he goes to the line, ball game over. Kyle Lowry, dog. Beautiful. Great job. All right, so guys, thank you guys so much for listening, and Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition. We don't know yet. Link is in the description for the podcast channel, though, and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I'll talk to you guys Leafs edition on Sunday as well, as the Leafs are coming home for Game 6 of Round 1 against the Boston Bruins, as the Buds look to win the series and exercise their demons, which are the Boston Bruins. On Sunday, 3 o'clock puck drop, Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs look to eliminate the Bruins in 6. Because we don't want to go back to Boston for 7. Nobody does. All right, and as for the Toronto Blue Jays, guys, they play tonight. They're playing right now in their first game of the 3-game set against the Oakland Athletics. Marcus Stroman versus Aaron something or other. What's his name? I've never heard of the guy before. That's why. Aaron. Oh my goodness. Aaron Brooks. There you go. Toronto Marley, Aaron Brooks. Could have thought it that way. Aaron Brooks on the mound for the Oakland A's as the Jays look to win that series, or I guess to win their first game of that series and look to win their 4th and 5th game. 4th and 5th days. But, a heads up. That video will be uploaded tomorrow afternoon. I gotta get up at 3:30 in the morning tomorrow. So these videos will be uploaded. I'm going the heck to bed right away. But the reason being, up at 3:30, you guys can do the math. Game started at 10. It'll probably be over about 1-ish. Video will be uploaded about 2. Gotta get up at 3:30. I don't want to kill myself that bad. But guys, like I said, that video will be uploaded tomorrow before Game 2 of that series against the Oakland A's tomorrow at 4 o'clock. This video will be uploaded before that, I'm hoping. All right, and as for our Toronto Raptors, they look to take a 3-1 series lead over the Orlando Magic on Sunday as well as the Leafs. Well, the Leafs look to end the series. The Raptors look to take a 3-1 series lead in Orlando. 7 o'clock tip-off down in Orlando. It's going to be loud again there as they look to even up the series against the Raptors heading back to Toronto. But the Raptors look to take a stranglehold 3-1 series lead and then come home looking to eliminate the Orlando Magic in 5. But you want to take it one step at a time. Enjoy tonight's victory there, guys, for today and even tomorrow. But once Sunday comes around, you focus on Raptors Magic Game 4. Game 4, 7 o'clock tip-off down in Orlando. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.